Have you had any? Tell me, have you had any, encountered anything where your muscle, your reputation has gone before somebody and suddenly a knife, a weapon, or a gun's come out in your presence? Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, Joe, lots of times.
Yeah.
Lots of times I've been shot at. I mean, my father-in-law shot at me a couple of times, tried to kill me. My father-in-law, you know what I mean? I've been shot at down when I was working at Christmas wine bar.
But the same man that gave his daughter away to marry her?
Yes,
yeah, want to kill you.
Same man. Yeah, same man.
Yeah.
Mickey Johnson, well-known gangster, one eye, very dangerous man. Didn't realise he was that dangerous. I mean, he came to shoot me. He hit my shoulder. I went down, but it was lucky, Joe, because if I hadn't gone down, if I hadn't gone down and got up, he'd have come over and put one in me, right? Because
so did you play dead?
No.
Did you pretend you were down?
No, I went down, Joe.
Oh, you got shot?
I got shot in the shoulder.
Oh, sorry.
It didn't go in my shoulder. It clipped my shoulder, Joe.
Yeah.
And the power of the gun knocked me on the floor.
Right.
Know? So I got up.
So he now maybe thinks you're gone, does he?
Yeah, he's coming towards me, but there's a guy just come out of a curry shop, Indian shop, with a bag, getting in his car. My father-in-law thinks he's with me. He puts him on the floor, puts a gun in his mouth, the guy's crying his eyes open. I then ran to my car, got something out of my car, and chased our man, you know what I mean? And then my wife got on the phone, Danny, his daughter, saying he's shot. I said, yeah, he shot me in the shoulder. And then...
so is this a family, is this a row because you mistreated his daughter, he thinks?
No, no, this is a row because I was working with a company, a big company. The old man wanted something from that company that I had. I'd give him something from that company. He then refused to pay me for that, and that's when it happened.
So this is a financial greed route?
Yeah, and then
Blimey.
I mean, it was either I deal with it or they deal with it. So I thought, well, it's easier for me to deal with it because I'm the son-in-law, rather than them, because they ain't going to give a monkeys who you are. They're just going to take you for a little drive.
Right, okay, yeah. So it's some heavy stuff talking.
Yeah.
But I used to have, I love my father-in-law dearly, bless him, he's passed on now. But we used to have banter. He knew how to get under my skin, I get under his skin, but we loved each other.
I don't like each other.
But
you've got to remember, I was as old as he was, Joe.
Yeah.
And I'm his daughter.
Yeah, okay, right.
Do you know what I mean? So it was
similar age, okay.
Yeah.
But I thought when we had a little bit of banter with my father, and I thought that was towing the line. He didn't shoot me though.
No.
Yeah, thankfully.
See, Joe, it can happen. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It can happen. I mean, I've been shot a few times, Joe.
So you've done 26 years. You've been shot, and you need a bit of luck to get out of this, don't you? Because I mean, a few inches over, it's in your heart. Yeah. So you've encountered this way of life. You predominantly went to whatever your troubles with your hands, but now and again people say, as you said, we're going to level this up, and they use this, that and the other. You need a bit of luck to see. You mean, have you ever seen gangster films where people generally get shot 4 times, they live every time? You know, so you need a bit of luck to get where you've got. 26 years in prison, how did that affect your marriage, family life, etc.?
The first time I was married, I got a big sentence. Lost my woman. She had a baby for someone else. Came out of prison, went with her, and then went to Lewisham, and then met people and started fighting with Eddie Richardson and all that lot, and got involved with gangsterism. And then she left because she didn't want to get involved with that with me, and she went back to Acton. I went back to Acton, doing a few fights. And that was it.
How much did you hold that against? Because what we've got to realise here, if you're
a woman, hold it, Joe. I mean, if you love someone and someone doesn't want to be around that, what do you do, Joe? Do you lose her or do you lose that? I mean, I'd rather lose that than her. You know what I mean?
So you look at it from the woman's perspective. I mean, she's got her needs and wants in life just like the rest of us. Just as men do. You get say a 15 stretch, you're going to do 8 or 9. They're in the prime of their life. There's one side, I mean, and there's a lot of women out there that stay completely loyal, go all the way through, and you've got to take your hat off.
I've seen one, Joe.
Have you seen one? Okay.
One.
But for the others that do, it's a bit of a strange one. It's easy to say, oh, you dirty this, you dirty that, you've let me down, but I suppose jeopardising, there's two sides to it. I suppose they can soak in the glory of the success of crime and drive the nice things and have the nice homes. there's two sides to it. When it goes wrong, but there is literally two sides to the story. Did you hold it against your first wife when you lost her a lot? Did you get really angry with her, or were you understanding?
When I went back home, then I started doing robberies because how am I going to live?
Right.
How am I going to live, Joe?
So there's no opportunity of a
really, she ruined part of it, what I was doing, but then I went back to it and went back to Lewisham and started, but I don't forget, I got put away, Joe, you know what I mean? But it was down to her that I got put away because I can't support her. The only way I know how to support her is this.
Yeah.
But when I started doing it in London, in West London, but I wanted more money, so I got on the pavement.
So that was what, your first wife?
First wife.
And what does that mean? 2 marriages?
2 marriages, yeah.
And what happened in the second one?
The second one was the second one was the guy that tried to kill me, Mickey, and I was with her for quite some time. I was with a company. I was working with a big company, biggest company in England. I was getting maybe 12, 25 and a half a week cash, grand.
Lots of money.
Joe and I had a big gaff. We had everything, whatever we wanted, we had. But it's not everything, Joe. I got involved with something I shouldn't have got involved with. I met another young girl, got involved, she found out, she left me. Well, it was kids, it's mad. And then, everything we had, she put her money away with sensible things with her mum and dad. Then they died. Then we had murders, and then all of a sudden, crash. They come to my door one day. They left a lot of money. They didn't find what I'd hid. She had lots of money, so when she come back, she took what I had. She went over, I went away, and she's now lives I don't know where.
You're not in touch?
No, Joe.
Bitter ending?
Well, I talked to my boy. My boy plays rugby for Australia. My boy did play rugby for England.
How many kids you got?
I've got 4 boys.
Yeah.
And 2 girls.
In contact?
No, Joe. I have contact now and again. My boys just come back from Australia.
Yeah.
Rugby player, he's 6'3", 6'4".
Big lad.
19 or 20 stones to kill me, Joe. He's back here. I mean, he got on the phone the other day, phoned me. I said, I'm in London. Come and see me. Where are you? Around your mum's. He went, I didn't tell you where I am, Dad. He said, like what? I'll tell you what, I'll tell you.
Sounded like he was around his mum's then, didn't it?
Yeah, he was a senior. I don't know where she is, I haven't seen her, Joe, you know what I mean? But,
do you think you could rekindle friendship after that or no?
Nah, Joe, he'd want to kill me, mate.
Too much water gone under
Too much water under the bridge.
Although you started, there's an area in your life you lost your way a bit in the middle.
Yeah.
You hit drugs.
Yeah, it was about that, Joe. It was about that time. I got involved with coke. I was involved with coke for quite some time, even with my girl, my wife, yeah, was involved because it's a club thing. And,
but it started as recreational.
Yeah.
Did it going out
and then
clubbing?
All of a sudden one day, because we had murders, me and her, I went to Brentford. You know Brentford, you come from that area.
Yeah.
I've got a flat in Brentford Docks, the old docks, not the new ones.
The old docks, yeah.
I've got a place in there. Met a couple of girls, got involved. One of the girls is called Ario, the Borio. She was a lead singer for a group called Entice.
What's the name? Laborio?
Ario Laborio, yeah?
Laborio.
Aborio, yeah?
Was that Georgie? No, what was the old face's name? Georgie Laborio, no relation?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
She was black. I think she come from Nigeria, not Nigeria, Kenya.
Yeah.
Lived over for Bugner, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And met her. She was a singer from Entice, the lead singer. We got involved. She was on the crack, got me on the crack. Then it became worse, and then other things happened. She went to America with Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown to sing for them.
Oh yeah, well they were bang on the game, weren't they?
But she come back after 6 months. Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown. She told me stories about them. You couldn't believe, Joe. You know what I mean?
Really?
What they done to her. She come back a white mess. She come back a complete crackhead then. And then she got.
Because they were on heroin and coke.
Crack, no, not so much heroin. Nothing was anything. I think it was more coke, Joe, more crack.
What was
because her daughter died, didn't she?
Whitney Houston as well. Was it crack?
Oh yeah. Her daughter died.
I thought it was. Okay, I thought it was Ed Lane Brown Underground, but anyway, so on crack, but I know they had a bit of a, well, I mean, it resulted in her and her daughter's death, sadly, so that's a sort of destruction. How much money a day could you do in an habit like that in because apparently you can't OD hardly on it, can you? You just keep doing it apparently.
I done 3 days, I done 14 grand.
Blimey, mate.
Radisson Edwardian. Do you know Radisson Edwardian Airport? The airport?
Yeah, of course I do.
Yeah, 14 grand.
Some training there, you got a gym in there.
Yeah. 14 grand I done.
14k. I mean, if you think alcohol is ready and available, but there's only so much you can spend on that on it, and look, don't get me wrong, it can be a dangerous thing. Alcohol addiction can be the worst thing of all. And destruction of people, but you could spend that sort of money. Yeah, but it's fairly cheap. It's a slow burning way of going skint, if you like. But with 14k in 3 days, I've heard these stories. I used
to do a grand a day when I was not in a hotel. I was doing a grand a day, 2 grand a day.
It takes some funding, don't you? I mean, you've got to have 7k a week just to get cigarettes. I think cigarettes. I don't smoke. I think cigarettes.
I had to be on the pavement.
Yeah.
I was on the pavement earning money, Joe.
So you had to be out there, and of course you commit crimes, and suddenly your luck runs out. So that become back in prison for you.
Yeah.
And so in prison, Ray, did you when you trained? Did you ever take steroids or that?
Nah, I did out on the street, Joe.
Did you?
When I was on the coke, I got on the crack. I got on the testosterone and Deca and all them sorts of drugs. Blew up to about 22 stone, Joe. Massive, huge. You must
have a fearsome sight, because I mean, you look. I mean, you're in what, 70 now?
71, Joe.
71. Yeah. You're age 71 now. He still looks what he is, an hard man. You must have been a fearsome sight at 21 or 2 stone.
Terrible, Joe. Terrible.
Yeah.
I was with a company, Joe, big company, mate. Yeah. They loved me, and got myself.
So you were heading the queue when the debts come.
I was the one, Joe. The enforcer. I was the enforcer, Joe.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. So. Crack cocaine. How did you get off of that? And
well, I was doing robberies, and then it came on top for me. I got nicked. I got a big sentence. I got an IPP, which is an indeterminate public protection order. It's something that was given out to perpetual armed robbers, perpetual GBH people, perpetual anything, yeah. So the IPP was a new thing just come out.
Yeah.
I was one of the first ones to get it.
Yeah.
So because I was the first one to get it, I was very lucky to do the courses that I had to do to get out.
Yeah.
But it took me 10 years, Joe.
Yeah.
They give me a 2.5-year sentence. And that's how it is. It's indefinite. So it's indefinite. 2.5 years don't mean nothing, Joe.
So it doesn't leave you. It's with you now. So you've got to watch in the nicest way. You've got to watch your P's and Q's.
You've got to be very careful, Joe. You can't. It's very easy. It's very easy once you go back in prison, you know, to get yourself involved with criminality, i.e. fighting, drugs, and lose what you gain, Joe.
Yeah.
You know,
so you've done 26 years. You're IPP, so that deters you. That now curves you, no doubt, because it seems like you're very much enjoying your freedom now. You're no institutionalised side of you. There is
an institutionalised me, Joe. Yeah, my institutionalised is that I don't go out, Joe.
Is there an element of institutionalised? You don't want to go back though.
No.
You know, no, you're not. People do though, don't they? It sounds a silly question, doesn't it?
I mean, I spoke to a question about someone who's just come out of prison now, young kid, done about 12 years, can't cope.
Yeah, no, I can understand. But you feel like you're institutionalised. You like staying in a lot. But is that in fear of you going out, getting in the mix of somebody?
Yes, Joe.
Putting a right hander on somebody and you're back in the slammer.
Yes, Joe. Yeah. It's like you can be in a club, in a bar, a fight erupts, but all bars and all people you know carry phones. Bars have got cameras, phones have got cameras. You could be involved, you could be sitting in that pub, in that area where the fight starts. Phones, cameras, got you. You're not involved in it, but they've got you in there. But you are, as far as they're concerned, involved.
Well, it only takes a 50-50 altercation, arguably. Well, it might be 60-40 your favour, where it's not your fault.
Yeah.
But who are they going to believe with an IPP record?
You're going to get a recall, Joe. I know people get recalls are still in the Joe. You know what I mean? And get 2.5, 3, 4 years recall.
Yeah, for sure. I've seen it. I've heard of it happening a lot.
Yeah.
So tell me, our view. We're looking out at the countryside. You're in a nice, lovely environment. You've got a very close friend and a mutual friend.
Well, do you know what, Joe? I was doing. I was living in Harrow.
Yeah.
I got involved with a thing called a podcast through YouTube.
Yeah.
I started doing that, sending things out. Also, one day I was doing some weights, a bit of training in the room, and someone said, "Look, do you want me some weights?" He says, "You know my dad, Dennis." I used to know my dad, Dennis Haley. I went, "Yeah, of course I was working Dennis, you know." And he went, "Look, I'll pop some weights round, you know." I went, "Lovely." I thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I got a phone call. I'm outside your house. Looked outside my house. There's a great big black Range Rover outside the house. Geezer gets out of the car, and he looks like he's dead.
Yeah, so it's ringing true.
So straight away, he gave me the weights, and he'd come and see my flat, see that I was living not rightly. I was in a little flat, Joe.
Yeah.
1 bedroom flat. It was nice, clean. I kept it clean, but it isn't what I was used to, Joe. You know, I've been in 8 years, you know, and Joe, he could see that any time it might turn me, Joe. You know what I mean?
So through the acquaintance of his father, his friendship that you cemented and made, he's come in and given a hand out, and
he's given me everything, Joe.
He's a friend of mine as well. I do business, and thankfully Intel's business is straight down the line.
Joe, he's given me
We're in the recycling
Joe.
business, scrap metal, and he's a lovely fella, and he's given you. So you wouldn't want to mess up. I'm sitting here looking out at the countryside, not too distant from London, but it's fantastic. It's beautiful. Now tell me, so you're settled. Tell us a bit about your podcasting.
I've been doing podcasting now for about like 10 months. So it got to a stage where me and Terry was talking, and one day he went, "Why don't we do a book?" And I said, "Well, that's what it's about. I want to do a book. I'd love to do a film."
Yeah, well, I'm going to touch on that. On the podcast, you're Ray Bang Bang Hill.
Right, no, Bang Bang Ray Hill.
Bang Bang Ray Hill.
Bang Ray Hill.
So the subscribers on my channel, look out for Bang Bang Ray Hill and his continuation of podcasting, and vice versa.
Yes,
I'm hoping you're going to put a mention.
Cushty, of course I will, 100%.
And so you seem happy. You're enjoying the podcasting, yeah?
Yes, I am.
Good, very good. And finally, before we just
my podcast is similar to yours, Joe. Whereas you're professional, yeah. It seems that you've always been professional. What you do, you got a business as a scrap man. It's professional, yeah. So I'm doing it more amateur, where I do it on the phone. You're doing it professional, where you do it on the camera. You've got your own person that's doing it. That's professional, Joe. You know what I mean?
Well, I've got the famous my daughter Louis, the PA in the background. Thank you, Louis. Well, I don't know. It's a nice compliment. Ray thinks I'm professional. It's something I'm testing the water with because I enjoy talking. I'm a 25 years of golf professional, and my boxing, so a little bit used enough to the camera.
Yeah, I've seen your boxing, Joe. You're quite good, mate.
Not too bad, right?
You surprised me. I'm surprised when I actually see him. You know,
thank you very much. It's a nice compliment from such a good warrior. So let's get on the book. So the podcasting you're enjoying, the book you haven't got a name for yet.
No, Joe.
There's only been one name through in the hat of about 20, which we'll come to in a minute.
Yeah.
So you've got a gentleman writing your book.
Yes.
You're almost there.
We've done about 100,000 words at the moment, but he's got to edit and all that, Joe, so he might take 25,000 out of it. Yeah. So I've still got things to put in it, you know.
Yeah, well, experience with a book. I think my book's got about 70,000 words. I've got two, Gypsy Joe and Cushty.
Okay.
So Cushty really is an extension of Gypsy Joe. I had my latter 11 years put on
What's that about your life, Joe?
Yeah, that's about me just being up all the way up. It's going to be like your book from the love of my parents, from a little boy up to my first fight, and to go into the unusual sport of golf professional from my background being an English Romany
play golf
Gypsy.
as well?
Yeah, 25 years.
Okay.
As a pro, European father-son champion. We've rung the bell a few times here and there. And then of course it follows me fight career as well.
Okay.
But your book's going to be, we're going to have similar, similar patterns. When I was doing 25 years as a golf pro, you were doing 25 years in Nick.
Yeah, yesterday I
So
was
we're a bit
talking to
different.
you yesterday about me getting a name for the book, yeah?
Yeah.
And I like what you come across with.
Yeah.
It was quite nice, but I did mention it. They're saying, no, but you don't know, Joe. You don't until you sit down, maybe add something to it.
Yeah, exactly.
What was it called?
The name I put forward, and I thought it had a double meaning, but it's just when you look at these things, you probably come up with 20 other ideas.
Yeah.
You're bang in trouble. Well, if Ray had come to meet you in his heyday, a lot of people were bang in trouble.
Yeah.
And also, he's been bang in trouble. He's done 25, 26 years. But we will look out for the book. It will be happening in the next 2 or 3 months, hopefully.
Open end of June, July.
And it'll be a fantastic read. And I'll also put the message out there for Ray. If there's any keen filmmakers, producers, vetting some interest.
Well, I've got a very good friend, called Brian Cox.
Yeah.
Director.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a director, film director.
Is he showing some interest making a movie?
I don't know. He's really big in the films.
Yeah.
Brian Cox, you know what I mean?
But it just takes that somebody to show.
He's my mate, Brian. He's the balcony and everything, you know what I mean?
Is he?
Yeah.
So it just takes that person to say, right, it's going to make a fantastic read.
Looking at the book, Joe.
And what goes on beyond a fantastic read is very often movies.
Yes, for sure.
Finally, Ray, what message would you have out there for your young fans, youngsters growing up? What would you advise them to change that you
Joe,
obviously can't?
As a young man, Joe, I earn quite a lot of money, yeah? And so, because I earned so much money, I had no respect for work. I had no respect. Money was waiting there, so I spent it all 24/7. Didn't care.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you get put in prison, you lose everything, Joe. The money, confiscation, all that, they take it all. Is it worth it, Joe? No, because then you go to prison, you're mopping the floors, you work in the shop, you go in the gym, you get nothing, Joe.
So if we think about your huge money that you earned in its heyday, and then we think 26 years of work, you're getting £4 a week, example, that's about what you're getting, £5-6 a week. Yeah. So when you narrow it down, it's not, and you do its averages, and plus you lose your freedom, does it cost you anything else with family implications and friends, marriages?
I've lost my mum, I lost my dad, I lost my brothers and sisters. They don't want me in their family, Joe. I ain't no good for their kids. I'm a gangster, Joe. Do you know what I mean? Trying to sort my life out the right way. I don't want to go back into that gangsterism no more, Joe. You know what I mean? Everybody knows you as a gangster. I don't want to be it no more, Joe. I want to work. I mean, listen, I'm a pensioner now, Joe. I get a pension, Joe. Yeah. I'll get a pension of about £32 a month, a fortnight, Joe. £32 a fortnight. I'm on £140 a week, Joe. They give me.
So what's the message out there for the youngsters?
Go straight.
Go straight?
Go straight, get a job.
Well, there you are. You've heard it from Ray Bang Hill. Go straight. You don't lose your freedom, and it's straight in life. You appreciate your pound note more. You work for it.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a man who's been there, done it, got the t-shirts, and he won't be alone in losing his wealth from criminality. It's just about the normal story. There's very, very few that make it the other way.
Well, you have, Joe. You've done one.
Yeah, but I've only done it through hard work.
You've done a bit of criminality, mate.
Oh yeah, well, so really, I'll the backup exactly what Ray said. Yeah. For me, I've done not too badly. We're not a wealthy bloke or anything like that. I've done not too badly, but it's been through hard work. It didn't come through crime, because there seems something of criminality. It goes through your hands like dry sand. Yeah. There's no appreciation for it. So a message as a team. Then there's a couple of old fighters and a gangster and an ex-criminal. The message is out there for you young men. Go get a job. Work hard. You deserve all of these. You thoroughly enjoy them, And that's the message, and it's
Right, John, 100%, mate.
It's been an absolute pleasure. I
Well,
hope you've enjoyed it.
Good say, mate.
Thank you very much, Ray.
Thank you, George.
It's been an absolute pleasure speaking
lovely,
to
mate.
Ray today. And remember to click and subscribe and give us some feedback. See what you think of our chat and our podcast, our interview today. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now. And remember, box clever, eh, Ray?
Yeah. Yes, 100%.
Box clever.
Lovely. Thank you.
Bye bye.